Harbaugh now heads to the Los Angeles Chargers.
He wins everywhere. He wins, period.
Justin Herbert, he's a crown jewel.
Well, you guys better enjoy this.
Quick snap, Herbert to throw. Has a man, touchdown!
The fans loved it.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin.
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
I was just trying to show off.
We're going to be known as world champions. And we're going to do it or die trying. Don't let the powder blues fool you.
Who's got it better than that?
Did something happen this weekend? Something go on?
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Oh,
Shedeur Sanders went in the 5th round.
Oh, well, I guess that's something to talk about, folks. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Woldog, sitting with my buddy, Kev Huggin Duggan.
What's up, guys?
Let's not forget Kyle the Coach Duggan.
Hi, buddies.
Hey, all right, folks. Well, we've got 9, count them, 9 guys to talk about after this, dare I say it, pretty darn good draft by the Chargers. And,
it was fun. I was the last time I saw you guys, I was on an airplane and we were doing the live stream of the first round while I was on an airplane. And that was super fun. And it actually worked. Thank you, Delta, for the awesome internet.
Don't let his image fool you, folks. He's got good internet now, I promise. Yeah. But let's take a look at these 9 new guys. We did go in with 10 picks, but one of these guys we had to give one away to trade up to get because we just could not wait any longer. But Thursday night, the big night, first round, Chargers take Omarion Hampton. Not many people had the Chargers getting this guy.
Well, we were in. Go to Kyle. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You're the big draft guy. You did a lot of the research, but I feel like early on in the draft kind of build up, a lot of people had Omarion Hampton coming to us at 22. That was like the initial surge of this guy might be there. And then he got so hyped up over the last month or so that people had some people were saying that he was the number 1 running back in the draft and that he could go before Ashton Genty. And there's no way he's going to be there at 22.
Right.
And then the day of, like, everyone we targeted was gone. You know, our D linemen, we talked, Grant was gone. Both tight ends were gone. Early. All the offensive linemen we had talked about were gone. Like, there was literally no one left in terms of who we were talking about. So I feel like we got lucky. I truly feel like we got lucky with this pick.
Do you know why we didn't get Colston Loveland?
There's a reason.
Because Kevin liked him. Kevin publicly proclaimed his love for him. So we didn't have a shot in hell of getting him. No, you did not. You were not willing. No, that's not true. That's what I wanted you to say. You weren't willing to do it.
Well, and it was crazy because he was the first tight end taken too, which is even crazier to me. Like that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't want to evaluate football players, but.
Exactly. Yeah. But I think it's great to get Hampton. I wasn't totally on board just because, or at least I wasn't like on the Hampton train because we just picked up Najee Harris. Now, understandably, Najee's not the long-term resolution or results, or he's not going to be here forever. But he was so good. I mean, he's only got 4 years under his belt. I feel like there's still a lot of tread left on Najee's tires, which was why I was like, I don't know if running back's necessarily the biggest need. But that all being said, Omarion Hampton, I mean, after watching the highlights, Kyle broke down some of his highlights over on our Patreon, and it was like, okay, if this ends up being the guy, I'm very excited because dude just has like the balance that this guy has. Like watching his highlights, like watching guys like come at him and him staying upright is crazy. Like I can't.
Yeah, he's got amazing balance, amazing quickness. Like he's just got it all. And what I love about him, which is just one of my stupid little side things that I like, is the fact that the last time we drafted a North Carolina running back, Kyle, do you know who it was?
Natron Means.
Bet your sweet ass it was. And he's also his coach. Yeah. And he, it's amazing. And even when they interviewed Omarion Hampton, he's like, he just calls him Means. Means showed me his highlights of, when he was a Charger. So I don't know. I love everything about this. It has all the connections. For a fact they're going to do some cool video on, going back and seeing Means and him together and the comparisons. Like it's kind of like the stars aligning a little bit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think any position that we sign as a 1-year deal, for instance, like Najee Harris, that means we're looking for a long-term solution in the draft.
Absolutely.
I believe that that's the culture that we are creating. Our GM in our front office is we're going to build through the draft, but this is only year 2. So we got to be able to, and we don't want to reach. We want guys to fall to us. Omarion Hampton definitely fell to us at 22. So you can't pass that up when you do have a 1-year fix, like 1 year fill in the gap for this year, which, are you kidding me? Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton coming into this season.
Exactly.
That is a huge upgrade at the running back position. I mean, this bully ball, Mekhi Becton at guard, it's all coming together to be some real hardcore bully ball with Will Dissly now being a real blocking type tight end with the guys that we've added. Yeah, it makes so much sense.
Yeah. No,
it's not. The one thing I will say about those 2 running backs, sorry to cut you off. The 2 things I will say, it's not like a, jab, like finish them off. It's like roundhouse. These aren't like, we're going to just like,
these are Jean-Claude Van Damme leg kicks.
Oh, big time. Spinning. Absolutely.
Yeah. This is not little Jackie Chan, like a million punches. And
we're not going to set you up for the roundhouse. We're just going to roundhouse you all day long.
Yeah. Just roundhouse. Yeah.
Just roundhouse. And I'm very excited about the pick now. I mean, it all absolutely makes sense. I mean, these were all positions of need, of course. Because day 2, we saw Trey Harris, wide receiver out of Ole Miss. This guy, I mean, you look at his stats, only 1,000 receiving yards and 7 touchdowns. Guy only did that in 8 games.
Yeah.
8 games over 1,000 yards. Are you kidding me? Like,
it's pretty.
This feels like average, a big time steal.
Average 17.2 yards per catch.
Yeah.
That's big time stuff right there.
It's huge.
Yeah. And it again, another just good fit for what we needed. Like so many receivers that they had mocked to us, like Matthew Golden and some of these guys, they're that inside receiver type of body. They're not the biggest bodies. They're Ladd McConkey-ish. And it's like, we already have that for the next 4 years locked and loaded, ready to go. Mm-hmm. If we're trying to build the roster again, the X receiver that we have right now is a 1-year guy. It's Mike Williams. So now you're able to get that guy in the draft. He gets to sit under Mike. You imagine Trey Harris a whole year with Mike Williams. Mike's not a, he's learned from Keenan on how you coach up these young guys and get them ready to go. And it's me or I don't want to talk to anyone, Aaron Rodgers-esque type of leadership. So yeah, I mean, dude, some of his highlights of the way he goes up and gets the ball, it's crazy. Like he has serious hands. I don't think those Quentin Johnston issues are going to carry over to any Trey Harris fear for us because he goes up and just snags the ball.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also getting Jamari Caldwell, defensive lineman out of Oregon. Guy just looks like a walking refrigerator. Yeah. He just, he's a fridge with legs. And feels like an absolute Poona Ford replacement, which is perfect. I mean, that's the thing is like a lot of these picks are replacing guys that we lost this offseason. And they just seem to fit perfectly as far as like measurables, productivity, everything like that. And Jamari Caldwell just looks like he's going to be a problem on that line.
Yeah, dude. And I was watching some of the like Senior Bowl clips of him running just drills against one-on-ones on offensive linemen. He's quick for 6'2", 330. Mm-hmm. Being that like gigantic, he can move. And he was just bull rushing people. I know that's kind of the knock on him is that he needs to work on his pass rushing. But I just don't know. I think that being at Oregon last year, I think he wasn't asked to be that bull rusher. I think he was asked to clog up blocks, take multiple guys. He had Harmon next to him, who was a first-round pick that was going out and making all the big plays. And he just did it. And that's what we need. Like we have the guys around him to go make the plays. Mm-hmm. Just swallow up blocks and hold the line of scrimmage.
That's all we need to do. And then day 3 came around and we saw much more names, starting with Kyle Kennard, the edge rusher out of South Carolina. Seems awesome.
I think this is my favorite pick.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, have you gone and watched any of his tape yet?
I've just what they've shown on social media.
Beast.
Yeah.
He is a beast. He's the SEC Defensive Player of the Year. We got him in the 4th round. Yeah. What is that? And he put
11 and a half sacks this year. He had 11 and a half sacks this year.
Yeah, he's 6'4", 250, has all the size that you want as an edge guy. He looks like a physical, absolute specimen. I don't understand. Like, that was last year when we got Rice in the 7th round. We're like, what? How did that happen? What happened there?
Yeah.
Obviously, that didn't pay off right away. Hopefully, it will here in the future. But this Kyle Kennard pick seems like he seemed like a great like character guy when they did the interviews with him and they showed him with his family when he was getting picked. He felt like that Charger vibe of the kind of player that we pick up. So that one's honestly the one well, yeah, he does have a great name, but that is one that I think I did not look up Kyle Kennard coming into the draft.
No.
And I think that he's going to make a huge impact. I love that pick.
Yeah. No, it's perfect. Filling in the Joey Bosa loss. And then Keandre Lambert-Smith, wide receiver out of Auburn, speedy guy.
3-4 was it 4.38? He's a 4.38.
Yeah.
Fast,
This guy is going to help us because boy, I miss those deep balls. I miss seeing those highlights.
The Jalen Guyton
catches.
Deep ball,
the T. Billy catches in his rookie season, like.
Yeah,
those need to come back, and I think Keandre Lambert-Smith is going to be the guy to make that happen. Just zipping down the sideline should be awesome to see. And then we trade up. This was where we traded up to 165 to get another tight end. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. Aronde Gadsden,
I think so.
The second.
Yep,
and catching tight end, productive. Almost 1,000 yards last season, 7 tutties. Great.
Yeah, that was his first season as a tight end. He was a wide receiver his whole career leading up to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they just bumped him over. He got hurt 2 years ago. When they came back, he put on a little weight and they bumped him to tight end. So he is a true pass catching tight end. That's the take the seam. He's only had 1 year really of blocking as a tight end, so that's not what you're going to ask him to do significantly.
Right.
But he is that pass catching type of tight end, 6'4.5", 240 pounds. And he's only had 1 year as a tight end. So there's still room to put more weight on that frame. He's a big boy.
Get on it, Ben Herbert. Get this guy loaded up.
Yeah, seriously.
I want to see 2 pizzas a day.
Wolfgang, lock it up.
Lock it up.
Wolfgang.
Get
Come
ready.
on, Wolfgang.
Get that order in. And then finally, Chargers go offensive lineman by getting Branson Taylor out of Pittsburgh, offensive tackle. But they've been talking about moving him into guard as a possibility.
Guards. We need guards.
We need more guards. Well, we need more flexible guys too. Guys that can play tackle and guard.
The size that we have on our line already, this guy's 6'6", 320. He fits the mold of monster up front.
It's funny. I don't think we have anyone under 6'4". Maybe. Yeah, 6'4". Maybe is the shortest guy we have on our offensive line.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just
They're monsters.
Behemoth of men.
Yes.
6'6", 6'9". That's a Charger offensive lineman right there.
There it is. So he'll fit right in with all the other guys. And then we go safety, RJ Mickens, safety out of Clemson.
Cool name.
And great name. And then wrapped it all up, second to last pick of the entire draft by getting Triquez Bridges, cornerback out of Florida. Both of these guys also look like crazy productive in the backfield as far as some of the highlights I saw of them. So this is looking like a great draft. Like none of these were names that we were necessarily looking at, but I think the Chargers were in just a great position to just be like, let's just wait, see what the best player available is. And when they fall, you go, okay, well, do we need this? We do. All right, let's get them. Like just plug and play for these guys. So I think it's a solid draft. I think the only reason why it's not like, I don't think everybody's like over the moon about it is because we didn't get those names. But I mean, when you look at the draft and the way everything unfolded, you got Loveland and Warren going way early in that first draft. Those other tight ends that we were hoping for, Ferguson, Taylor, Arroyo, those guys went pretty early too. So it was, and Grant went early. So it's just like, it's fine. I think this is going to pay off to be a very solid draft going into the season. And I mean, just on a score level alone, that RAS score, that relative athletic score, that we know Brandon Staley was a huge fan of, but it has proven to be something to at least consider because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Seven.
6, 7 guys are in the green, have a 8.5 or better RAS score that we drafted. That's got to speak for something.
What do you think our
I really
scores
like
would
these
be?
scores. Oh, what's the
I might be
elite color?
I think I'm in the negatives, quite frankly.
What color are you, Adam?
You got a Jamari Caldwell color. You got the red.
At least I might be pulling. I might be pulling an 0.2 or something like that.
It'd be kind of fun to run. It'd be fun to run whatever they're tested in and then have them grade us. I'd love to see where I land on the RAS.
Yeah,
what do you mean by fun? Yeah. I think I would pass out
for everyone
doing
else.
the drills.
My knee hurts right now just thinking about it.
Me too.
I think all my tendons would
Flaring
explode.
Yeah.
One of the interesting things we saw, at least in the post interview with Ortiz and Harbaugh, they were talking about when they went to get Trey Harris, they were like, should we trade up to get him? And they were like, no. Ortiz was like, I just had a gut feeling like we could just sit here and wait, just let him fall to it. I think he's going to fall to us. And sure enough, they did, which was perfect.
Got the guys, got who they targeted. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was one of those situations. I mean, they were looking at it like McConkey going like, do we trade up to get this guy? Do we need to get him? It was just like, just hold. And sure enough,
stay on target.
He falls.
Coming in too close.
And then some of the staff had this to say on getting Omarion Hampton at 22. Ortiz called it a unanimous decision, and Harbaugh concurred. This was not something that was ever spilt. This is a guy through the process in the fall. The scouts identified early on as a guy they really love. Coaches got involved. Same thing. A lot of love for him, a guy we felt could impact our team, and really a guy who's held water through the entire process. And did I think Omarion was going to be there? No, said Ortiz, because he was one of those unanimous guys, and you kind of anticipate unanimous guys being gone. But we were fired up that he was there. And then Ortiz also said Thursday that Hampton's ability to shine without May under center was something that caught their eye during the evaluation process. He said, teams are going to load the box more, and I think his average was almost the same, if not the same for this year. He averaged the exact same yards per carry this year, 5.9 and 5.9. More people geared up to stop him, and he keeps producing. It's impressive. Said
that's a lot of yards per carry, 5.9. That's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. Yeah. I'm excited to see that now behind our beefy line running down, getting for 5.9 a carry.
And his ability to catch the ball. I think that's what set him apart from Ashton Ginty too. Because Ginty he wasn't asked to do that. Maybe he can. We just didn't have a big sample size of him doing it.
Right.
But Omarion Hampton can catch the ball, and he's dynamite once he gets the ball. He's quick enough to be able to break make a big, huge play out of it.
Dynamite. And then second round pick Trey Harris on becoming a Charger said Harris concluded his time at Ole Miss with 114 receptions, over 2,000 receiving yards, and 15 touchdowns. However, he missed 5 games in 2024 due to a groin injury. Now Harris is determined to prove that he is ready for the NFL, not only to the Chargers, but also to the fans of Los Angeles. He said, at the end of the day, you're going to get a hard worker out of me. You're going to get a competitor out of me, and you're going to get the best out of me for sure.
Competitors welcome. He knows the slogan.
He knows the script. And,
the crazy thing that popped up after he got drafted is everyone was talking about how he was a quarterback from Malik Neighbors in high school.
Was he really?
A quarterback?
Yeah, they were on the same. Yeah, he played quarterback in high school, and he was on the same team as Malik Neighbors. Athlete.
Wild.
There you go. Keenan every once in a while filled in at quarterback. We had those little trick plays.
Come on, let's get tricky.
Come on, Trey.
Tricky. The other thing about
Trey hang on. Does the Trey name, is that buggy at all, Kev?
No, he's taking it back.
Oh, he's bringing it back.
He's bringing it back. He's making it rad again.
Okay. The dial for Trey was over here, but now it's slowly coming back.
Maybe we can only have one Trey on the team.
Great again. Yeah, make Trey great again.
Well, the other thing that came out about Mr. Harris was his yards per route run versus man and zone in 2024. He is on an island all of his own. It was like over 11 yards. Again, yards per route run versus man and zone. So if you got man or zone coverage, he's gone. Yeah.
You're screwed.
Kiss it goodbye. Like he is off to the races, head and shoulders above every other wide receiver that got taken in this last draft.
Yeah,
it's crazy, dude.
Freaking by 8 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It just tells you that Ole Miss, they had if they're in man, Trey's going deep. We're not going to, there's nothing we're going to do. Whatever his route was supposed to be, you see man, just go, and we're going to throw the ball up there and you're going to go get it because
he'll get it.
You have incredible ball skills. Yeah.
He'll be there. And then 3rd round pick, Jamari Caldwell, defensive tackle. Caldwell went through 2 junior colleges and 2 Division I schools before being selected as the 86th overall pick. During his time with the Cougars, Caldwell showcased the skills he had developed as his potential had been on hold during the pandemic. In 2023, he recorded 6.5 sacks before transferring to Oregon in 2024. At Oregon, he started 14 games and achieved a career high 29 total tackles, 16 of which were solo, including 4.5 tackles for loss, and also contributed a forced fumble and 3 pass breakups.
Get your hands up.
Productive.
Big
love
boy.
that.
He loves football, dude. These guys that go the JUCO route, you have to love ball. Like you're not making millions of dollars like these guys in D1.
No.
For those that don't know, what is the JUCO route?
Like junior college. So you go to Mesa Community College. You play there, try to get your stock up, whether you're trying to get bigger or you just didn't get exposure out of high school, you had bad grades. You just go and suck it up and play junior college football. And you have to love football because when I decided to stay home and said I was going to go play football up in LA, I decided I didn't want to leave my girlfriend, my now wife. And so I decided to stay home and I was like, maybe I'll go play at Mesa. And I went to one practice and boy, howdy, that's a tough game of football. Yeah. There's like old men with knee braces. It felt like longest yard out there. Yeah. It was tough.
Well, we've seen now Jamari has had success going that route. So congratulations to Jamari.
He started on the number 1 team in the country all year. And it's just, he's got the skill, but he has to love football based on the route that he took.
Absolutely. Well, and we officially
we got a shit ton of guys.
Absolutely. 18.
Pretty much what this list is.
Undrafted free agents. Terrell Edwards, defensive lineman out of Illinois, 2024 All Big Ten honorable mention. Edwards was forced on the interior and was tied for the 3rd most tackles for loss on the Illinois defense. Great. Another D lineman, Josh Fuga, Virginia Tech. Fuga saw a lot of game action. Great name. During his time with the Hokies, playing in 60 games and finishing with 12 tackles for a loss and 4 sacks. Luke Grimm, this is a guy I see get talked about quite a bit as being a big deal for the Chargers getting as an undrafted free agent. He was named a team captain for the Jayhawks last season. He's out of Kansas and led the team in receiving catches, 51 passes for 690 yards and 6 touchdowns. It was his 3rd straight 6 touchdown season.
666.
Nice.
Yeah, careful with that. I saw a bunch of stuff going around that he's got like Ladd McConkey vibes. I don't know if that's just because he's white or if their gameplay is actually that similar.
Yeah,
but that's kind of the like you picked up a Ladd McConkey-esque type receiver with Luke Grimm.
a Ladd light.
Ladd light.
It's nice that now it's a Ladd McConkey and it's no longer like a Wes Welker or it's now you're like Ladd McConkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the current day. I like that. And then Kylan Guidry out of Western Kentucky, outside linebacker. Guidry was began his collegiate career taking the junior college route. There we go. JUCO. Before ending up at Western Kentucky in 22. His 7 tackles for loss ranked 2nd on the team, and his 3 sacks were tied for 2nd most on the team last season. Then we got Nash Jones, guard out of Texas State. Jones,
sick name,
great name.
Texas lineman.
We're so good at
that.
getting undrafted great names. There's more coming here. There's some more great names. Jones was an all Sun Belt honorable mention this past season after starting all 12 games in left guard and not allowing a sack, according to Pro Football Focus.
How does Pro Football Focus have stats on a guard from Texas State?
Got a lot of people working over there.
They just got everything.
Not just one nerd everywhere. There's at
they
least
got little
five
birdies everywhere.
Let's see. We got Jalen Jones out of Virginia Tech. Safety was a ball hawk in his final collegiate season, intercepting 3 passes, second most on the team, and finishing with a team high 8 passes defended. We got Josh Kaltenberger, Maryland center. A grad transfer this past year. Kaltenberger started all 12 games for the Terrapins and allowed just 11 pressures, according to PFF. I think he's also a guy. We had our Zoom hangout here just prior, and Frank pointed out his RAS score was like 9.72.
It's off the charts for a center, like the most athletic center you could possibly find.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So get to coach him up a little bit. He's got all the traits to do.
He's got the measurables.
So coach him up.
Coach him up. Steve-O Klotz. Fantastic name. Tight end out of Iowa State.
His name is really Steve-O.
Steve-O Klotz. Klotz was a 2-time second-team All-Big 12 selection at fullback. Caught a touchdown each of the past 2 years.
Wait, hang on. His name is Steve-O?
Steve-O.
I feel that's a typo.
No, it's
Steve-O.
I feel like
that's a typo, dude.
Look it up. I saw him.
Steve-O Klotz.
Steve-O Klotz.
All right. I love him. I love him more than anything now.
I promise.
Yeah, that's my guy I'm pulling for to make the team. That's an incredible name.
I'm a big fan of his parents, honestly. If that's what they named him, I'm a huge fan of that lineage.
Hi, my name is Steve-O. Welcome to Jack.
Hey, welcome to the Chargers.
Yeah. Jordan Olodakum, Bowling Green State cornerback. First team All-MAC selection. Olodakum was a team captain and started all 13 games for Bowling Green last season.
We love team captains.
We do. We're big fans of leaders. We got Miles Purchase, Iowa State cornerback. Purchase played 14 games with 9 starts in 24, making 35 total tackles, 4 tackles for a loss, 7 pass breakups, 1 interception, and 1 fumble recovery, and a partridge in a pear tree. Garmin Randolph, Baylor, outside linebacker. Randolph had 29 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 15 QB pressures for the Bears in 24. Nice. Nico Reed, Oregon cornerback. Reed earned all Big Ten honorable mention honors in 24 with 3 pass breakups and 2 interceptions. And Eric Rogers, Rutgers cornerback. Rogers played in 39 games with 23 starts at cornerback and recorded 3 interceptions and 14 pass breakups his college career.
Dude, I feel like one of these corners is going to hit. One of these undrafted. We're going, oh, you thought it was cool that we got 2 in the 5th round? Watch this year. We're going to get one undrafted, and he's going to be sick.
And
one of my favorite names is coming up. Hold on.
Yeah. Raheem Sanders, South Carolina running back. I've seen guys talk about
people are a big fan of him. So
Sanders played for Arkansas and South Carolina in college, ran for almost 1,500 yards and 10 touchdowns in 22.
Wow.
Corey Stewart, Purdue, offensive tackle. Stewart was a 6'5", 314 pounds.
Not big enough.
Sounds about right. He's got to put on some weight if he wants to keep up with
his mid-range for the Chargers line.
Yeah, he's smaller side.
Started 11 games at left tackle in 24 and allowed just 1 sack in 345 pass blocking snaps. Wow. That's nice.
Cool.
We got our practice squad quarterback, DJ. Oh, God. Uiagalelei. Florida State, former 5-star recruit.
Played at Clemson. If this guy sticks. You know what I mean? It'll be tough.
Well, I think I saw Albert Breer mention that he might be playing at like tight end or something like that. Like he might be practicing.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense because he sucked at quarterback.
That's what I see. Yeah, a lot of people were like, he was not good at quarterback.
Yeah. Dude, he was like a 5-star at St. John Bosco and up in LA. And he killed it. They won the national title. He was awesome. He went to Clemson and sat, and then he got to play and he wasn't good. And then he went to Oregon State and he had an okay year. And then for his COVID year, he went to Florida State and they sucked. And he sucked. Like it was not good quarterback play.
They sucked. So he sucked. We all suck.
That makes me happy that he's going to be moved to tight end because
I don't know if that's the case, but that was
to be the case.
Observation, yeah.
Or tackle, something, not quarterback.
Savion Washington, Syracuse, offensive tackle, 6'9", 340. There we go. That's more like it.
There it is.
Yeah, that's the kind of beef we're looking for.
32 career college starts with Colorado, Kent State, and Syracuse. And lastly, Marlowe Wax, Syracuse linebacker. Wax played in 57 games for Syracuse and made 47 starts. Honorable mention, all ACC selection in 24.
Well, this is the opposite of that other name. This is like I question his parents, but he outshined his name.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely, he's outshining his name.
And all of this basically leads up to what will eventually be the preseason, which now that we've got Herbert, Heineke, Trey Lance, a lot of competent quarterbacks to play in the preseason, it's going to be way more exciting to see some of these guys play and who can step up to the plate. It's an opportunity for these undrafted free agents to try to make the team, and there's a lot of possibilities. I mean, I think Marlowe Wax is the only linebacker, I think, out of the entire draft that we picked up, so he's going to be fighting for a spot for sure.
But big special teams attempt.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun, folks. The draft is done, and now going forward, we get to look forward to like camps, rookie camps.
Oh, rookie camp 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame game.
Hall of Fame game. July 31st, folks. First game of the preseason. Chargers said, we'll take that. Hall of Fame game in Canton. Being there for Antonio Gates, getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. What a time to be alive.
Basketball in college?
I didn't hear that.
I didn't. No.
Yeah, he did.
Cool.
Well, I've heard about our sponsor this week, Underdog Fantasy. Did you ever watch sports? Find yourself wishing there was a way to get into the game? Well, let's go with Underdog. There's finally a way to make picks on sports without leaving the house. The game is in your hands. To play, choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats like touchdowns, strikeouts, points scored, and more. And millions of fans have already won billions making picks on Underdog. Their app has over 100,000 five-star reviews and millions of players. That includes us. From time to time, we do jump on. We do make some picks. Top to bottom, left to right. They don't always hit, but when they do, it's a lot cooler when they do. Yeah.
That'd be a lot cooler when you do.
So download the Underdog app and sign up now using the promo code CCHAT to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus credits when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code CCHAT. Claim your special offer today. Get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 or over 19 in Alabama and Nebraska, over 19 in Colorado for some games, over 21 in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Void where prohibited. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783. Or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line. Whoa. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. And after you're done making those sweet picks, getting those bonus credits, you can head on over to our Patreon, patreon.com/ChargerChat. And as usual, we got to shout out the newest names. This guy, you know him, you love him. He's already got a segment on the freaking show, and now he's on Patreon. He just hung out with us, the Special Tens. That's Adam Mundwarf.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Little lamb, I gotta get out of bed.
Hey.
So lots of fun over at patreon.com/ChargerChat. But if you don't want to go over there, it's all right. You can go on over to our regular website, chargerchat.com. Check out all the cool stuff we got over there.
Cities and stickers, you know.
Chat it up with other Charger Chatteteers in the members section and ask questions and Ask Boltfam. Go check it out, chargerchat.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I swear to God, hit that subscribe button.
It doesn't cost you anything.
It's
just click the button.
It's a finger move.
Time.
Do it.
It takes a little time to do it.
Please. All right, folks.
Freeze.
Time to go on to the next segment.
Freeze.
Ask Boltfam.
Time to put your money where your mouth is.
Hi, guys.
Don't jam a thumb up his butthole. That's what you do.
I wet myself in excitement.
Oh, so hungry.
Your thoughts are like totally appreciated.
Catch you later, dude.
Okay, love you, boy.
That's right, folks. Time for Ask Boltfam, and we start at the top with BTFU Chargers guy, baby, who asked the question. Oh, baby! I'm so pumped up about this draft, homies. It was a great draft class in a long time. I mean, holy bolt, baby! I'm about to bolt up again. Oh, baby! But my Chargers homies, on to my questions. What grade do you guys give this year's draft? Oh, yeah, baby, one more thing. FTR for taking Ashton and FTC, FTB. Oh, baby, tequila shots for everyone. K, love you, bye, baby! Yes, FTR. For taking Ashton, you sons of bitches. But let's give it a grade. Kevin's using
Kevin's diamond. Hit us with a
Diamond
YMCA.
plus. You gave it the plus.
Yeah.
Plus
The diamond
treatment.
plus. Yeah.
A.
Y. M.
C. A.
A plus.
So Kev says A plus. Kyle, you just say A.
Yeah, it's always an A plus. We have no way of knowing. It's gonna. These guys are all gonna be awesome.
Considering, I say A plus as well, because why not? Until proven otherwise.
We're not
what we
able
do
to
here.
decipher between an A and an A plus here. Say the A plus sounds better. It's more positive.
The one thing that I will say,
A pluses.
Yeah. The one reason, at least for me, behind giving them an A plus is that it felt like every pick that they made matched with what the fans were looking for as far as like positions of need. We need to get this. We need to get this. Okay. We got this. We got this. We got this. I mean, all the offensive weapons for Herbert now, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, a catching running back, an offensive tackle. Like that's gonna help this offense.
It was weird because it was like best available and need at the same time. Like we didn't grab like some random position. Like it, I'm hoping they weren't drafting for need, but they were clearly going after the best guys, and that just happened to be who we needed. So
yeah, at
least those first 4 or 5 rounds, I felt strong.
Nobody felt like a reach. Nobody felt like, oh my God, you're taking him at this round.
No,
everything felt like steals.
The basket. We're just like waiting for people to jump out of the building and like catch them in the little thing that they like do and then bounce back up. Like we were catching old school fire department style. All these guys that were falling down the board.
It all worked out. So yeah, I think A plus is all around from us, BTFU Chargers guy. Baby, thank you for asking the question. Let's move on now to Jacobo, who asked the question. OMG, just met Kyle at the barbershop. Sorry I stuttered my way to say, I love your podcast, by the way. My name is Jacobo, as if you would know who the heck I am. Anywho, great seeing you and your fam. On to the questions for the crew. What are some player selection options Chargers could have selected that would have upset you guys, excluding QB and OT? Can't love you, bye.
No,
dude, I did. At Dell's Barbershop, Escondido, shout out. They're awesome. It's old school barber. They wear the white shirts. It's awesome. And yeah, I was there with all 3 of my sons. One of them's crying. I gotta go check on him right now. But I was holding Teddy because he like had slept on the way there. Yeah. And he would just finish getting his haircut. And he just came up and said hi. He's like, I love the podcast. I was like, wait, what? And my boys are like, he listens to your podcast? I was like, yeah, buddy. People listen to the podcast.
Me.
Buttholes. Yeah. See how cool I am? All right, I gotta go check on this crying kid. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not cool at all.
You guys keep going.
Not a cool move. That's not a cool move at all. At all. Jacobo.
That's not a cool. Oh.
No, having to get. He was talking about being cool and then like having to like run off. It's just not.
Oh, yeah.
Totally
but I mean,
cool.
Awesome that you got to meet Kyle, the Coach Duggan, for sure.
Yeah.
As far as like picks that were available that the Chargers could have selected that would have upset us.
Huh.
Excluding QB and offensive tackle. I can't think of many.
I'm trying to think.
I mean,
there's
like
nothing that like stands out. Like we're up next, and if they take this person, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah, I mean,
I was more pissed about the Raiders taking Genty. I was more pissed about the guys that were getting snaked away from us. That would have been an option. You know what I mean? That was more, especially the Raiders thing, like having to deal with him 2 games a year for the foreseeable future every season. Like I'm just not looking forward to that. So I'm hoping Omarion's our guy, and he just, because they're saying he's 1A, 1B. I hope that's the case, and we just got lucky with the 1B.
Yeah,
or the one.
It's really going to be a test for Minter and this defense, the team that allowed the fewest points last season, now going up against the Raiders twice a year, Broncos twice a year, Chiefs twice a year. And as far as like players that we could have selected, I really can't think of any because none of them felt like if they would have made a reach for some guy that was like, you know, if we had a similar like Trey Pipkins situation where like they picked a guy and all of a sudden the analysts are like, well, we don't know who the heck this guy is. Like, wait, I don't have any notes. He's a draft. Yeah. They draft the third round. Like none of that ended up happening. And so nothing felt like upsetting in any way. Like every guy that they picked was perfect because you could just go like, I see the vision. I see what you're going for here. And like they all fit positions of guys that we've lost in the offseason. So I really can't think of any specific names or even positions that would have upset me. So I think it was a good draft, Mr. Jacobo. Keep cutting the hair. Thanks for listening to the show.
If you guys want to go run into Kyle, you know where he gets his haircut, and it's about every month. So you're looking at the 27th or so of every month. So
there you go. Get that haircut. Thank you for asking the question, Jacobo. Let's move it on now to Daryl21, who asked the question. Hey guys, I'm back. The schedule with a few Monday episodes threw me off, but I'm glad things are back. This dumbass couldn't remember to write to Ask Boltfam on Saturday. So my question is quite simple and a bit of a rant. Was it just me, or did our team seem completely thrown off by losing Loveland, Grant, Nolan, and Egbuka between picks 10 to 19? I don't believe for a minute they had Hampton on their radar in round 1. We all saw they were trying to trade back. I think we had a good draft. I really do. But I think round 1 threw a monkey wrench out there. I'll soak in the rest of the draft of the next few weeks and get your thoughts on some things. See you Tuesday, guys. This episode should be juicy. Okay, love you. Bye. Hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha. Yeah, using up the full time of that first round was really kind of like, you could see it on our live stream. It was like, whoa.
What are we doing? We got down to 0. And what I heard is that there was a lot of people trying to acquire that pick.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just like taking it. The question was like, were they truly going to do it, or are they just entertaining it to see what would they offer?
You could get a king's ransom. Yeah, it's like that's the shamelessly positive take, is that we weren't actively shopping. It's so many people were calling us to try to get the pick that we were like, well, we're going to listen. If you're willing to give up a stupid amount, then sure, we'll take it. But I go ahead.
I was going to say, because Atlanta traded back up for that James Pierce pick. I mean, and they ended up giving up a future first round pick, which is insane.
The Giants moved back in too to get Jackson Dart.
Yeah. So I'm sure those were two teams that were talking because they both wanted to get back into the first round. But yeah, I would imagine it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't them shopping. They were fielding, and I guess nobody just provided an opportunity or a king's ransom that the Chargers were willing to take.
Well, when they said that it was universal throughout the building that Hampton was the guy, there was no divided anything. It's like, this is the future of the Chargers running back room. Let's go get our guy right now.
Yeah, this is the future. We're all fine with this pick, but if somebody's got an offer, make me an offer. I can't refuse.
There is something for like the fans, like Loveland, Grant, Nolan, and Egbuka. Those are all names of like, Chargers were probably going to get these guys. This is something we were going to target. So as soon as they were all off the board, I mentioned it earlier. I was like, what are we going to do? It was kind of narrowed down. It almost made it easier for them to be like, okay, boom, there you go. There's your number 1, and let's go get him.
There it is. So I think it probably threw off some of the game plan, but probably not a lot that much, Daryl. I think they probably still stuck to the script of just waiting for the best player available, and they ended up getting it, I think, every round. So,
yeah. And I don't think that we were necessarily, they probably weren't planning for Omarion Hampton because they thought he would already be gone. That's the only thing everyone was kind of mocking him a lot earlier than 22.
Yeah. So enjoy it, Daryl. We look forward to the future questions. Thank you, buddy, for asking. Soak it in. Let's move it on down to Zach Shelton, who asked the question, what does the Hampton pick mean for somebody like Vidal, who the Chargers got in the middle rounds last year? He did play, but not a lot last year because of Edwards and Dobbins. Is he barely going to see the field this season too?
Well, Haskins was in front of him as well, last year, and they brought him in halfway through the season almost.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, they just added that another free agent running back. So it's like what coach says. It's like competitors welcome. It'd be a tough team to play on because you have to earn it every day if you're a Charger.
Absolutely.
Which is good for the total roster. All these guys are going to keep getting better because they know no spot is safe.
Exactly.
You got to grind.
Yeah. If he's been grinding all off season, if he can show some flashes in the preseason, maybe he makes the team. If not, you already know that you got Najee and Omarion, so competitors welcome. We'll see what the preseason brings for him. Zach, thank you for asking the question. Let's move it on now to Donald Rickert, who asked the question. Is Zion Johnson the latest version of Jerome Clary, the player that fans irrationally love to hate?
Jeremy Clary. I didn't have a problem with Jeremy Clary. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't think Zion is in the doghouse quite like another lineman that we also had. For me, like if you're like love to hate thing, I don't know. I think Zion had a weird year. Maybe it was coaching. Maybe it was the scheme. It's a little different than what we had, previous years. So maybe it just takes him a little time to get up to speed because he was a first round pick. He's a talented guy. You know what I mean? It just wasn't working out. Maybe a new center switch out will be better for him. And then a better right guard. That'll make things a lot easier. Yeah. Yeah. He's a good guy. He's talented. He just I think he had a down season.
Yeah. I don't think it's irrationally love to hate. I think it wasn't a great year. And I think he'll get better one way or another. The line will get better one way or another. That's for sure.
Oh, we're already better. What do you think, Kyle? Do you think Zion's a problem?
I don't like irrationally hate. I think that there is maybe a little bit of truth to that because I don't think he played all that bad. And if he's getting hate, then it would be irrational because, it wasn't the best year, but it was like a C. Like he played like a C plus type of football. But I don't think that Zion Johnson's the reason we didn't win the Super Bowl. I think that he does take a little bit of hate, a little bit more than he probably should.
Okay. Well, there you go, Donald. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. Moving on now to Arrogant Bastard, who asked the question. Hey, fellas. So, with the draft finally over, what free agents will the Bolts look at to fill any remaining roster holes? I think we're pretty set at wide receiver, running back, so Keenan Allen and JK probably aren't coming back, but are there players out there that could fit and make a difference?
I think the player that's weirdly been... did you have something else to say?
No. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the player that, because of Derwin James, this player just keeps popping up all over the place is Jalen Ramsey. Yeah. The potential trade for Jalen Ramsey idea because, I love the corners that we have, but they definitely are young, and you can't have enough corner talent out there. I mean, those guys go down pretty consistently. So with the departure of Asante Samuel, that would be awesome. I mean, I think that would be pretty cool to see Jalen Ramsey and Derwin James. Just them, like the media that we would get behind the scenes of those two guys having fun would be really, really fun. So, but they, like you said, I think most of our positions are pretty well filled with depth now after free agency and the draft. So it's going to have to be a guy that they really, really like and a guy that wants to have a 1-year prove it deal because that's clearly what we do.
I think there's a chance you possibly could still go interior offensive line, like find somebody that's out there that you could bring in. I think that's still possibly an option, just because there's no one really there. Like they have to go in and earn it. So there's no one there that's like, all right, they got the job. Like I feel like center guards and one guard and the center are open for interpretation with Mekhi Becton. So. That's a place I could see possibly you adding some more depth. And then the secondary, I think you could still add some more in the secondary. Like you said, Kyle, like we could definitely find somebody. The question is if you're going to trade. All points are, heading towards, we're probably not going to trade and give up anything for anyone because we just haven't done that yet under Ortiz. But, we'll find out in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking at the names of like available free agents, and like there's nobody that's like jumping off the page going like, holy shit, what do we do?
Yeah, well, we're past that at that point. We're in the deep. I would I like to have Keenan Allen back? Yeah. Would that make any sense whatsoever for how stacked our, how deep our running wide receiver room is right now? No. I'd love to have JK back. Like you can never have enough running backs. Imagine those two with JK.
Oh my God.
I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe it does.
Yeah. I think those
longevity. He keep his tires fresh. He gets in there, 5 plays a game. He just tearing it up. Who knows?
Yeah. There's a lot of fun names out there that could potentially come to us. Whether or not they fit or whether or not there's a place for them remains to be seen. I think you would have to do a lot of like do-si-doing and switcheroos with some of the guys that you either just signed as free agents in this offseason or letting guys go that are still on rookie contracts. And I don't know how open the front office is to doing that kind of stuff. So we'll see. I mean, there's always a chance. Joe Ortiz does not stop cooking. He's open 24/7. He's 7-11.
Oh yeah,
baby.
He's 7-11 for sure.
Arrogant bastard. Thank you for asking the question. Moving on now to Athir Kadir. Who asked the question?
Kadir.
Who asked the question? I jumped. Judge and Chad and my lovely Bolt fam. I've got a few comments to start with before I ask my question, baby. Let's go back to the press conference after the heartbreak loss to Houston, baby. What did our GM and coach say? We did not help Herbie, baby. We did him a disservice. They made sure that will not happen in 2025, baby. Wow, what a great pick. Running back, wide receiver, tight end. Let's go, my baby. QB's got lots of tools to have fun with, which is his MVP season, baby. Second, the pressure is on Greg Roman. Boy, the seat is hot. Giro, you need to shine this coming season, baby. Now to my only question, please. Between Hampton and Harris, which one will have the biggest impact on offense this coming season, baby? We start with our lovely Coach Kyle, followed by my awesome friend Kevin. If he is not on the plane, LMAO, love you, Kevin. And we finish with my love of my life, my heart, my baby forever, Wall Dog. San Francisco, here we come, like I told you, baby. Bolt up FTR, always, baby. Way to go, Athir. Way to go. Yes, good callback to the Houston post-game presser. They met, I mean, and we all saw it. The offense struggled last season, which is weird to say when you've got Justin Herbert as your quarterback, but it's the truth. And now look at this draft. Look at what we've accomplished. There's so many opportunities now for Justin Herbert to just shine and tools. I love it. Do you agree with Greg Roman being on the hot seat though?
I don't know. I think so. I mean, there's no excuses now.
True.
There's no like this is a giant weakness and we had to scheme around it, or if we can stay healthy, there's no excuse not to have a top 5 offense.
Yeah, I love that.
I think I completely agree with that.
And then as far as Hampton and Harris, who is going to have the biggest impact on offense this coming season?
My hope is that it's like a gradual shift. That Najee is going to get the bulk of the snaps early on, and he'll get the short yardage scores, and he'll get all those type of plays. But then as Omarion gets more comfortable with NFL level of speed and scheme and what we're trying to do, my hope is by the end of the year, it's much more 50-50, kind of right down the middle. Obviously, with him being the one that's under contract moving forward, I think Najee will get the bulk and make the biggest impact early on. But I hope that there's some natural flow as being the rookie, kind of working his way up by the end of the season.
Kevin.
So I think it'll be exactly what Kyle said, where you're definitely going to get the seniority to start the season. But Hampton's explosiveness, I think impact wise, you're going to have games where he's going to tear off a 40-50 yarder that Harris isn't going to do. So I think I want them to both equally be awesome. And I think they're both bruisers, but I think Hampton, if he gets just enough carries to have an opportunity to break one. As soon as that happens, I think you're going to see the dynamic shift. But either way, they're both going to be playing a lot. And I think we're going to run the ball more this year than we did last year.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. I think if I just had to pick one, I kind of feel like Harris might be the one to provide the bigger impact. And the only reason I say that is looking back at last year, Gus Edwards, I think was missed. The Gus Edwards that we were all hoping to get, I don't think we got. And that's not necessarily his fault. He had injuries. It's understandable that we didn't get that same kind of Gus Edwards. And I feel like Najee's going to provide that level of Gus Edwards play that we were missing last year. And Omarion Hampton's going to be in the J.K. Dobbins mix as far as like if you were to identify these two, like what they both provided. So I think Harris is going to give something to this offense that we didn't necessarily have last year. So I could see that being the bigger impact.
I think it's just going to be a far better 1-2 roundhouse.
Absolutely.
Style.
Either way, it's going to be better.
It's going to be flashy. It's going to be tanned. It's going to be like, we're going to be a fucking karate tournament style, kicking people in the head, Jean-Claude Van Damme style.
Bring the sunscreen, Aether.
Bring it, because it's going to get hot. That's what I'm trying to say.
Bright and hot. Yeah. Thank you, buddy, for asking the question. And we go out of Ask Boltfam with Tony Francis, who asked the question. Listen up, soldiers. Chef Ortiz does it again. We draft Hampton in round 1, Harris in round 2, and Caldwell in round 3. I know we're all sad we didn't get Colston Loveland, but Hampton is going to be the next LT. Mark my words, cadets. Ooh. My first question is directed at you, Coach. How fucking excited are you about Omarion Hampton being a Charger? Do you believe he is going to be the next LT? What is your favorite skill set of his? And God damn it, soldier, I called you during the draft only to be sent to voicemail? What the dude? My next question is directed at you, Kev. Which player drafted on Saturday are you most excited about? SEC Defensive Player of the Year Kyle Kennard was an absolute steal. And my last question is directed at you, Wolldog. Now that the schedule release is set for Wednesday, May 14th, what should the podcast do to celebrate? Live show? Let's fucking go, soldier. As always, the Raiders, burn the kingdom, kick the donkeys. Joe Ortiz fucking rocks. Love that guy. And anywho, who isn't down with that can suck my butt.
Good one. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, you left him on the VMs, dude. What's up?
Ooh, straight to voicemail.
Dude, I'm sorry, Tony. I must have not seen the call, because if I saw your beautiful name pop up on my phone, I would have answered.
Yeah.
I was also trying to juggle spending time with my wife and jumping on live streams with these bozos.
There was a lot going on. It's a busy lifestyle to be Kyle the Coach Duggan.
Yeah.
But how excited are you for Omarion Hampton, and do you think he's the next LT?
Dude, I don't know. It's hard to claim anyone even close to LaDainian Tomlinson. I mean, even when you drafted LT, you didn't know that LT was going to be LT.
Yeah.
Like
he's the next
these guys,
Sanders.
Yeah. But yeah, so I that's my hope. And I think he's going to be an awesome football player.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think if he can become even close to LT, it's a home run pick, because LT is one of the greatest running backs of all time. So
absolutely.
Yeah, let's hope he's close. My favorite skill set, honestly, I love the all-aroundness of his game. I think because he's big, strong bruiser that can run through arm tackles, but he also has incredible balance, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's like a true three down back. But then Adam sent us this clip up. Somebody clipped up his pass pro. Dear God, this guy
he's lighting people
out.
Up.
Yeah. Like he lights them up. It's not just I'm going to get in the way and try to screen you around. He's looking for contact on linebackers. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So as of right now, that's my favorite part of his game is his pass pro. Keep Justin Herbert upright, and we're going to be in good shape.
There you go.
I love that.
Good. All right, Kev, which player drafted on Saturday specifically are you most excited about?
On Saturday.
So rounds
Man.
4 through
Kyle
7.
Kennard and down.
I had a whole, I didn't hear the Saturday part. I was about to do a whole Trey Harris spiel. I'll give you the Trey Harris spiel, and then I'll pick somebody on Saturday. I missed the Saturday.
Okay.
My apologies.
All right. Yeah.
Trey Harris, just because that is a huge weakness that we had last year. Like I'm most excited to see that happen because of the fact that it's going to open up our passing game and it's going to make everyone else better in that. And then Justin Herbert's going to look better. And I'm excited for Trey Harris and Mike Williams in that combo of the X receiver. A fourth round, I think you said it, but Kyle Kennard makes the most sense because we need edge rushers. We are in desperate need of not only edge rushers, but like the guys that we have right now are like seasoned vets that are this is the perfect year for him to come in and get trained up for a year by these guys. So I'm not excited for him this year. I'm excited for what he can be and his growth. I think for Saturday, that's the one where for a fourth rounder, he gets a nice soft landing where he can come in there, be behind a couple awesome, 3 awesome guys and learn the ropes. So I think he's going to be a great addition for sure. And he's a big boy. I'm excited for that.
He is
big, strong, beat people up, all the accolades.
Right. All right. And as far as the schedule release, we did find out, draft announced that the schedule release will be Wednesday, May 14th. And as far as what we would do to celebrate, I don't think we would do a lot. I don't know. I think we respect the streak of letting stuff happen after an episode comes out.
Respect the streak.
I think if we try to meddle with that, I don't know, the world might implode. Frogs might start falling out of the sky. So I think we'll let the ball. We'll play the ball where it lays, Tony. But we will absolutely hoot and holler because then we got to start making plans. Then we've got to start figuring out, okay, what games can we go to? And that way, when the next episode comes out, we're ready to be like, all right, guys, you ready for this? Here's the games we're going to. Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you. I'm excited to see what they're going to come up with this year for the release video.
Yeah.
If they're going to continue to take shots, or
are you kidding? Of course they're going to take shots.
What level? Like, what are they doing? I'm here for it.
It's going to be fun, no matter what.
I'm still waiting for that Hollywood version where they have they get a Hollywood actor for each one and do something cool like that. That's the one city you could pull that off in.
You could
a little bit of a budget. You might need a little budget.
I was going to say. You got to pay some A-list actors to come in.
Just hand out some box seats.
Yeah, just throw out some box out there. Get a Tom Cruise, him running, and like with something blowing up behind him, announcing what week we are in. You know what I mean? Like that'd be cool. And then let's brainstorm. I got some ideas. We want to pitch you some shit, Chargers. Come on.
We've got some storyboards we'd like to share with you.
Yeah,
Chargers front office. But Tony Francis, thank you, buddy, for asking the question, and thank you everybody for asking questions. And Ask Boltfam, we greatly appreciate it. Now, draft is in the books. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun between now and July 31st when we finally see these guys hit the field in Canton, Ohio for the Hall of Fame game with Antonio Gates getting inducted. What a time to be alive here at the Charger Chat, folks. Any final thoughts there, gentlemen?
So I just looked up a funny stat.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
And then you can do whatever mean joke you were going to do for me.
Okay, cool.
I looked up a funny stat. Do you know who is younger than Kyle Kennard on our football team?
Who's younger?
Also a pass rusher. Tuli Tuipulotu is still younger than Kyle Kennard. Wow. Yeah, he's a year younger. He's 22. Kennard's already 23. Maybe that's why he fell to the fourth. Older guy?
Because he's spoiled fruit?
No, it's just some teams don't like that idea. They want guys that are 20 years old, like when we drafted Tuli. That's great. That's a crazy stat. You were just talking about how it would be great for him to come in and learn from the older guys. It's like maybe he has a thing or two to teach Tuli about life. Yeah.
Wow, that is interesting.
Yeah,
I love that. All right,
fun fact. All right, go ahead with your crap talk, Kevin.
No, this is more of a promotion. This is more of a promotion. If you need a cool haircut, where do you go again?
Dell's in Escondido. It's awesome.
There you go.
There you go.
$25 haircuts. They're not moving those prices up with the inflation rate, so that's money.
And you might run into Kyle and all of his kids. So
you might. No appointments though. You just got to show up and wait.
Yeah. Shave and a haircut. 2 bits. That's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat, folks. Don't forget to bolt up because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye. And now, a word from our sponsors. When you need a snack that's as fast and powerful as Chargers' new running back Omarion Hampton, look no further than Dough-marion's Bakery. We're serving up fresh baked goodness that'll keep you in the game from start to finish. With a lineup of pastries, cookies, and more, Dough-marion's Bakery is always on the offensive against your hunger. Don't fumble your cravings. Come get your game-winning bite today.